Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Fire Medic Adventures from Home. The theme of today's home vlog, cue the moaning and groaning and complaining at Epic Universe. Right on cue, just as myself and a few others thought that this would happen. I'm not saying this for everybody, but there is a large amount of people that are just nonstop bitching about Epic Universe. I mean, it's too warm. The rides are continually breaking down. It storms every day. The crowds are big. Folks, what did myself and a few others say back in April and May? We're rhyming now. This first year for Epic was going to be a little bit of a rough ride. And what has happened now also is social media is driving a lot of this disappointment, in my own opinion. And that's kind of where we're going with today's vlog. I'm also going to try to introduce my new screen recorder that I figured out how to use. And we're going to dive in to why social media sets up these people for failure when they're going to Epic Universe. I mean, it can pretty much happen at any park, but Epic Universe especially. I say it lightly when I say sets up for failure. It's not a failure going to the park. That's something that not a lot of people get to do, realistically, because of the expense. So it's very much a privilege to get to go to these parks. But obviously, everybody sees how everything happens on social media, and they see some of the big influencers out there who pretty much, you know, the ones that gather the 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300, 400,000 subscribers, they're getting all the views. So they're in the algorithm. My channel at 635 subscribers, which thank you to all 635 of you, we're growing. We're not going to have that kind of reach. You know, eventually we will, and maybe one of these videos will hit that algorithm. What I thought we'd do today is explain why, in my opinion, the people seem to get so upset with these vacations to Epic Universe and why people are complaining so much. People watch these videos on YouTube, especially, and they see what they see, not understanding maybe the context in which it was filmed or the time frame in which it was filmed, and they all think of it as present day, which most of them are not. And so all of these creators, which they're all putting out their own content, but they're actually, a lot of them are setting people up for not the greatest experience if they're trying to follow exactly what they're doing. And to prove that, and to show you how, one, oversaturated the market is, but two, how much advice is out there on how to have the greatest theme park day at Epic Universe, we're going to use my new little screen recording tool, and we're going to kind of go through some things. I'm going to show you what exactly we got going on here at Epic Universe. I might pick one of the vlogs out, and we'll kind of dissect it a little bit and just listen to what advice they dispense, and then we'll kind of pick it apart and whether it's good or bad advice. All right, everybody, welcome. Hey, we got it. I think this is working. So what I did is I took it upon myself and I put into YouTube already Epic Universe tips. And this, honestly, is why I'm a firm believer in that people just come down here, and this is why they get so angry, honestly, because they see all of this, right? And if you don't live here and you have no idea other than what you see, this stuff looks rather easy. And just look at how much information is out there. Here's a perfect example. 23 tips for Epic Universe. Go to Epic Universe like a pro. Epic Universe tips and tricks. What to do. Virtual line. Or what to do first. Virtual line tips and more. Epic Universe tips and tricks. Watch before you go. Everything you need to know about Epic Universe in 15 minutes. How to do Epic Universe in one day. Ultimate itinerary. Ooh. We might select that one. Might have to look at that one. 12 Things I Wish I Knew Before Going to Epic Universe. Watch Before You Go. Ultimate Guide to Universal's Epic Universe. How to write everything at Epic Universe in one day. Tips and tricks. And then it goes down into, here you go. 17 mistakes to avoid at Epic Universe. How to have the perfect day at Epic Universe. The truth about Epic Universe Express Pass. Tips, tricks, questions answered. Avoid these 11 mistakes. They'll ruin your day. Ranking every ride. You can keep seeing like how much there is here. And then you go into the other stuff. Live streams. But even here, rope drop strategy to get you ahead of the crowds. The one thing you keep in mind is a lot of these were uploaded a month ago or a little over a month ago. And what was that? That was when the parks first opened. Big difference from then to now. That's the other thing you got to pay attention. If you're going to try to look at some of these and figure out the best strategy, if you choose to go this route after watching this, you got to really pay attention to when these were uploaded. Like some of these here 1 month ago, this one here 2 months ago. That was right when the parks were opening or right before they opened. The crowds were very low. So a whole different scenario right now. So let's go down here. Where was that one? Here we go. Let's check out how to do Epic Universe in one day, the ultimate itinerary. Let's break this down. Let's see what this young lady has to say. This is the Crystal Palace. And let's just see if this is even doable. If somebody were to try this. Here we go.
Do you want to visit Universal's brand new theme park, Epic Universe, but only have one day to do it? Well, you're in luck because in this video, I'm going to be sharing the best way to visit Epic Universe in just one day.
But I'm telling you, folks, right now, it ain't realistic. No, Norfolkin way. Not going to happen.
I created a perfect Epic Universe itinerary based on wait time data to maximize your Epic Universe day and have the shortest line experiences. Here it goes.
Okay,
here is the official Crystal Palace Epic Universe one-day ride itinerary. Okay, number 1. We're starting off by doing early park admission because if you watch the Crystal Palace, every video I always recommend early park admission at Epic. Anywhere that has early entry, you are going to want to do it because it's the best way to maximize your day. So early park admission, if you're staying at a Universal Orlando hotel, we're going to start. Once again, we're going to get there. How early? 60 minutes early, at least an hour to 45 minutes before early park admission begins.
Okay. My reason why that is not a good idea anymore, because everybody freaking does it. So you're literally going to show up to wait in line, to wait in another line. It used to be before 2020, early park admission was awesome because not many people did it. Social media has grown since then. Everybody's a genius now because of videos like this. Everybody's armed to the teeth with advice. And so if you think you're going to be the only one showing up an hour early, well, guess what? You and 10,000 other people are going to be standing there. And if you don't believe me, go into some more videos and look at how many people are there at the quote-unquote rope drop. There's thousands of people. And guess what? They all are going to the same idea. They all have they're armed with knowledge. They're going to get it all done. And that is why that is horrible advice now, because in order to have a truly good day, as I said before, you got to unplug yourself from the matrix. You got to be where the other people aren't. And that's why before, this was a great idea. Before 2020, fantastic. Now, you're just going to stand in one line to stand in another line. Oh, and by the way, you're going to wake your family up at 5:30 in the morning or earlier, and then everybody will be screaming and yelling at each other. It's fantastic. Let's continue.
Head right to Minecart Madness. And the tip with this is to go through the bottom. When you enter Super Nintendo World, you're either going to go up the escalator or the accessible entrance, which is an elevator, or you can go around the side.
See what you
Around the
mean.
side isn't that cool portal experience, but it will lead you right into the first floor of Super Nintendo World. And this is key. You get right to Minecart Madness, first having to go up the escalator.
Here's the other thing about this one, okay? While it's not a bad idea, again, everybody else is going to have that same idea, and Minecart Madness, like all the other attractions, has had its share of difficulties. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. So imagine wasting all that energy. You've stood in line for an hour already. The park's not even open yet. It's the middle of summer in Orlando. The heat and humidity is building. You're starting to pour sweat. And now you've waited an hour for the park to open. The park is open. And now you've headed toward Minecart Madness because that's what this video said. Hey, to maximize your time, do this. And you get there and it's down. Shit. Now what? Or it's working and then it goes down. Could happen. Again, in another year or so, you could probably realistically do exactly what this young lady is saying to do. Right now, no, I would not.
To go back down the stairs to get to the first floor, because that's where Donkey Kong Country and Minecart Madness is. Then number 2, after you get off Minecart Madness, such a cute, fun ride, you're gonna head to Mario Kart, and it's gonna be about 30 to 45 minutes. So this is a little long, but...
So right now we're automatically assuming that Minecart Madness is running smoothly. There's absolutely no issues. You've ridden that and gotten off of it. Now you're jettisoning over to Mario Kart, and supposedly it's going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Folks, I'm here to tell you, that's one of the big attractions people run to first in the morning, and I've seen that thing get upwards of 100+ minutes within the first half hour of the park being open. So again, when this was made, this was before the parks got really busy. If you look around, I know it's hard to tell by watching this, but if you look at certain cues in this video, this wasn't filmed yesterday or the day before. This was filmed a while back. It's a little misleading, which is why I'm here. Again, I'm not knocking anything this creator's doing. I'm just saying that this is the type of advice that is out there that people who don't know any better, they find it because it's in the top of the algorithm because, you know, granted, they've worked hard. They've got a nice subscriber count. They're in the algorithm. But people are seeing this and like, oh, this is perfect. This is all I got to do. And like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And a lot of people are getting punched in the face even before they get in the park.
This ride is consistently long throughout the whole day. So you're going to want to wait now, get it out of the way during early park admission because this is a relatively short wait.
Okay, the reason she was able to do this is she stayed at one of the Universal hotels and was able to get in a little bit earlier than the rest of the guests. Once again, the Universal hotels are very large and they hold a lot of guests. A lot of other people have this same idea. They are going to be doing the same thing. I've followed the wait times so far. There's not a lot of difference between early park admission and the regular day. There really isn't. Again, this was done likely when the parks weren't that busy, when things were being previewed or during the first few days to few weeks. And again, everybody's a guru now. So that's what brings out stuff like this. And it's a little misleading right now.
Compared to what you're going to be seeing 70+ minutes throughout the day. Then take a leisurely ride on Yoshi's Adventure. Now, this early park admission plan, I personally think is best, but it is going to be starting on the first floor, going up to the second floor, coming back down to the first floor. So if you're not a fan of stairs, they do have elevators. Just keep that in mind. By the time you get on Yoshi's Adventure, early park admission is probably going to be ending at 9 a.m.
So it's an hour for early park admission. We're assuming now in that first hour, we've already gotten Minecart Madness in, Mario Kart in, and now we've ridden Yoshi's Adventure, meaning we've ridden all 3 Nintendo World rides, or I'm sorry, Super Nintendo World rides in 1 hour. Right now, folks, that ain't happening. Yoshi's Adventure the other day in the early morning was well over 100 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
So now the park will be open for everyone. I would suggest going over to How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. You're going to shoot right across, right through Celestial Park and head to Isle of Berk. Now, you can either do the Toothless Meet and Greet, which is always a very long wait, but if you do it at Park Open, that's your best chance of waiting the shortest, because another attraction that is consistently long line throughout the day and does not accept the Universal Express Pass is the Toothless Meet and Greet, extremely popular. Or if you want to do all rides, you go for Hiccup's Wing Gliders. This should be 5 minutes to 15 minutes at night.
Again, they have from Super Nintendo World, now we're jettisoning across the park to Isle of Berk, which is a big land, okay? It's a huge land. It's probably the largest of all of them there. And again, we're assuming that this Hiccup's wing, or the Hiccup meet and greet, has no line, which, folks, there's going to be a line. That's a very popular meet and greet. And it's a very warm line to wait in. I have not waited in that line. I just don't have any desire to meet characters. I mean, the Toothless thing would be fun to see if it wasn't, it was maybe 5 minutes, but it's not something that I want to do. But if people are wanting to do that because it is very popular, again, you can wait upwards of an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours for that meet and greet. Right here, it's hard to see in here, but this is being shown off as Hiccup's Wing Gliders, and she's saying now that it should be a little bit after 9 and it should be a 5-minute wait. That says 105 on that box there. Not sure when this was taken, but that's got a 105 on it, which, again, it's not unusual for Hiccup's Wing Gliders, the roller coaster, to get into the triple-digit weights very quickly. Again, we're in the middle of summer. A lot of the park days, if you look, are sold out for Epic Universe for the next week or so. This next week's going to be real busy. And a lot of days are sold out. So this at 9 o'clock in the morning, or 9:10, 9:15, probably could be in the 100-minute wait. So it will not be 5 minutes.
9:30 in the morning, right when the park opens, because a lot of people go right to Nintendo World or Harry Potter. So I like starting my day off or after early park admission in Isle of Berk personally. Then you're going to go to Dragon Racers Rally, which should be about a 30-minute wait. This is a very low capacity ride.
Let me tell you something about Dragon Racers Rally. Ridden it one time. It's a fantastic ride. To flip yourself upside down is not easy, but it's very short. There is no express for this ride, and it's long. And I mean, it's long on boarding. And if it goes down, one or both sides go down, then it gets even longer. This being 15, 20-minute wait, or a short wait at 9:30 in the morning, again, not likely. Not likely at all. This is going to be super long, and it's very slow. I would personally do this one at night when it cools off, because that queue line is very warm.
So 30 minutes is pretty good for it, and it'll be about 10 o'clock in the morning then. You're going to want to get on Fire Drill, especially if you're visiting in the summer. This line will be, it's been up to like 100 minutes this summer for Fire Drill. Very popular attraction because everyone wants to stay cool in the Florida heat. And
again, Fire Drill, great ride. But yes, well into the 100 minutes for the wait times. It's been very, very long. That's one thing I hope Epic Universe expands on, is the water rides. They need more, because this is great. I rode this. This is probably one of my more favorite rides in the park. But they need more of this. And again, depending on how this thing is running, it can be very slow loading. It's not supposed to be slow loading, but if they don't have all the boats on the track, it can take a minute. It can take a long minute. So realistically, the way she has this going is that it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we've got all of Super Nintendo World done. And now we're almost all the way done with How to Train Your Dragon Land. Yeah, nah, not really.
We're going to do Fire Drill right before lunch. Now, another thing we're going to get into after I share the rest of the itinerary is food break tips. I personally always eat early. The lunch spots will open pretty much at 11 a.m. I always try to eat around then because you don't want to be waiting in line to get lunch. We'll share more about that in a little bit. So you're going to eat. Then you're going to go on the Constellation Carousel because I'm not going to put you on Curse of the Werewolf so you can, after you eat. So take a little chill ride on the
Constellation Carousel is another good ride. One of the neatest carousels I've ever been on. However, yet again, it's very slow loading. It can take upwards of 5 minutes to get everybody off this thing and on it, and then have it checked and then get it started up. It is, so again, if you're talking a busy day, this can take a long time.
Constellation Carousel midday should be about 10 minutes. Then you head to Monsters Unchained. The Frankenstein Experiment will be less than 30 minutes midday like this. I love this ride. Very high capacity. It keeps moving. Probably my favorite ride in the park. Then hop on Curse of the Werewolf. So you have Dark Universe done. Then head back into Celestial Park. Hop on Stardust Racers for a nice coaster ride.
Okay, so not a bad list. Okay, the Monsters Unchained is a great ride. That ride, when it's running like it's supposed to, is very high capacity. I mean, very high capacity. It's fantastic. And then over to Curse of the Werewolf, again, good idea. Again, we're assuming that the wait times are relatively low. And then from there, she's got you flying across the park to Stardust Racers.
Before sunset is usually the lowest wait time because people usually wait for the sun to go down to ride both Stardust Racers and the Constellation Carousel. So if you don't mind and it's not your top priority to ride both of these rides when the sun sets, then I would definitely do it right before sunset around like 2 o'clock. Should be a short wait time. And then last but not least, honestly, it's going to be long anytime you try to ride this attraction.
Did she say right before sunset at 2 o'clock? I mean, when are we talking here? Is this December? Because 2 o'clock is still about 6.5 hours from sunset.
I would save it for last. Ministry of Magic. All day. It's going to be a long wait, especially in the morning now. That's why I didn't put it first, because the morning, everyone runs there first. I personally would wait until later in the day. In my experience, I have seen the wait times for Ministry of Magic decrease significantly from the morning to nighttime. But once
So, Ministry of Magic. Here's my take on this. She's saying to leave it till the very end of the day. Not terrible. However, this ride can go down a lot, which it has. It's going to be a while before this runs smoothly. It's one of the most technological rides Universal's ever done. And it's going to be a minute before this thing runs like it's supposed to. Like right now, it's not running. So this is assuming that this ride is up and running at regular capacity, which it's still struggling to do. My best advice for this would be, this is why you need 2 days. You need 1 day for Ministry of Magic. That's all you do. When you get to the park, you ride that thing, and then whatever you get after that is bonus, and then you have your second day to just have some fun and go at a leisurely pace. This itinerary is literally breakneck speed. I mean, it's exhausting, like trying to keep up with this. And I know the park's open from 9 or 10 to 9 p.m. I wish it was open later. It needs to be open later. But, you really don't even have 12 hours in these parks, the way they're set up with the time frame. So, I mean, this is all day in the heat and everything else. That's why I'm saying this is not the greatest of ideas.
Again, if this is the one ride you want to ride, do it in the morning. Okay, now I mentioned food tips. Here are some tips when eating because, it's fun in the theme parks and sometimes you're having so much fun you don't want to stop and eat, but you have to. It's essential. 1, because Epic Universe has really great food, and 2, because you don't want to be like dehydrated and have no food in you and pass out and ruin your day. So trust me, you're going to want to eat. My biggest tip is to eat off peak, noon to 2 p.m., very busy.
Okay, good advice. Don't eat off peak times. or I'm sorry, good advice, eat off peak times. That's great advice. Don't eat like crap. Okay, folks, you want to pass out in the parks. Don't get enough to drink. Eat all the sugar in the world, like all those drinks you had that loaded with sugar. You want to dehydrate yourself. Do that. The butter beer, the Yoshi drink, you want to have that. Fine, do whatever. It's your vacation, but do that at night after the sun goes down, not in the middle of the day. I promise that will not end well for you. You will either see that running out of one of two ends, or if not both. Or it's going to really dehydrate you and you're going to wind up passing out because you're not drinking enough water. Nobody ever hits on that. They say, oh, you need to drink water, but nobody ever says how much. That's why I keep saying your body weight in ounces of water. 150 pounds, 150 ounces, 200 pounds, 200 ounces, so on and so forth. That is how much water you have to drink.
If you're visiting Epic Universe in one day and you want to ride all the rides, see all the shows, then you're probably not going to want to spend your time sitting down at one of the sit-down restaurants like the Atlantic or the Blue Dragon. They're great restaurants, serve great food, but you kind of want to be quick and just grab a bite to eat.
Okay, let's stop her there for a minute. Take your time, folks. Sit down and have a good meal. This craziness of we have to jam this all in because we got to go. We only got 10 hours to do everything. Y'all sit down have a meal. Just have at least one sit down meal. Don't be eating in lines or eating in the queues. Wintertime, maybe, but summertime, don't do that to yourselves. Don't do that to your family. It's a good time. These restaurants are amazingly themed. Like, it's entertainment just being inside these restaurants, whether it be Pizza Moon, the Atlantic restaurant, Oak and Star Tavern, and I guess there's another one coming earlier next year in 2026. The restaurants themselves are an experience. Don't take that away from your experience. That's why I'm saying 2 days is key for this, because you're not going to be able to get everything in one day. And especially if you're going to follow this plan, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to hate yourself by the end of the day, especially here in the summertime.
In the middle of the day, if you're trying to do everything in one day, because Epic Universe, he says, oh, it has 11 rides. It's not a lot.
Not right now, you can't.
The crowds, you're going to be waiting. There's so much more beyond the rides too. Shows, experiences, power-up bands, meet and greets, wand activities, shopping. It's going to be a full action-packed day.
So again, she pointed out some good stuff. There's so much more to this park. There's the power-up bands, the Super Nintendo World. There's the wands. That's why I don't like these how to do it all in one day, because you absolutely cannot do it. You can't. And unfortunately, as the person that has no idea, that's never been here, that sees this, when they show the map, she showed it going from Super Nintendo World to the Isle of Burke. Just cross the park. That's a big span to cross, when you're getting over there. And the other thing that every one of these vloggers leaves out, they are not with a large or even small group or with their families. It's usually one or two of them at most. And they're zipping all over the park. And what they fail to remember, too, is by the time this video was filmed, this young lady had probably been there 12 or 15 times. Even 3 or 4 times you probably had this thing down. I mean, I know Epic Universe pretty well after, 3 visits? But a family coming for the very first time, they're not going to know this. They're not going to know how to go from Super Nintendo World to How to Train Your Dragon over to Zigzag to Harry Potter Land, then Somersault and Cartwheel over to Dark Universe, and then Tightrope over to Stardust Racers and all that other stuff, and then swim the fountains over to Constellation Carousel. Just kidding, don't do that. It's a good way to get banned for life from Universal. But they got everybody skipping all over the park. Like, they forget that most people coming right now have never been in this park. They don't know where anything is. They're just figuring this out for the first time. Which is, again, why I get why they make these. One, they get views. They get lots of attention and comments. But that's really all they're good for, because I'm telling you, you try to do this now, and it ain't going to work well. In fact, maybe that's a good YouTube video. Maybe we'll try to implement this one of these days. I will grab this itinerary and see if it can't be done just for me. Because again, it's a whole lot different when you're with a family of 3, 4, 5 or more people and you're trying to drag them all over the park and somebody's crying, somebody's pissed, another person's hungry, somebody's got to go to the bathroom. It doesn't work this way. So again, this is great entertainment, but it's not realistic. Or, I mean, it would be if it's an off time of the year, meaning not the middle of summer, and it's just you and maybe one other person.
Other thing you want to keep in mind is you are in Florida, so it might and most likely will rain, especially in the summer. So you might want to save like Monsters Unchained for the afternoon because that's an indoor show. If you want to ride, like I said, if you want to ride Stardust Racers, that's your top ride. I would do that in the morning because if it starts thundering and lightning, that will close. All the outdoor attractions will close if it's thundering and lightning. And this is also the hottest point of the day. Then it's nighttime, and Epic Universe has
also, the hottest point of the day is from roughly 12:30, 1 o'clock, all the way to 5:30, 6 p.m. Honestly, folks, you don't want to be in the park during that time. Again, that's what I'm saying. This is not the greatest of ideas for the summer months. You could probably, again, with 1 or 2 people, you could probably make this happen in the off season during the cooler months. But summertime, that's not going to work well. People are going to get really, really pissed if you drag them all over the park like that. Basically, the Epic Universe Death March. Nighttime is really nice, though. I will say that. Epic at night, spectacular.
So, we went over how to do Epic Universe in one day.
So there it is, everybody. That is why, in my opinion, people get down here and end up having meltdowns on social media because of videos like that. And again, I'm not attacking these people. They're doing things on YouTube. We're all theme park enthusiasts, and everybody's, some of them are trying to make money. It's their full-time career. So, more power to them. But like I said, what they don't realize is that the majority of these people coming right now have never been to Epic Universe. They have no idea the layout of the park. All they've seen are videos. And I can tell you, from having watched videos of other parks that I have never been to, watching a video and then going to that park and experiencing it in person are two different things completely. You can't pin it all on a video and be like, oh, I'm an expert, I know it all. And again, like I mentioned, they forget too that they're usually only 1 or 2 people, not an entire family of people that may be complaining or, screaming and yelling or throwing a fit somewhere and just having a whole different experience. So if you want my idea, suggestion, and or recommendation, don't do Epic Universe in a day. If you are going to do it in a day, be realistic. Pick the top 3 rides that you want to go on. Make those into a list. Prioritize them, 1, 2, 3. Knock them off, 1, 2, 3. And then go make another list and go from there. And then keep going until you get everything done or you run out of hours in the day and the park closes. But I will tell you that if you do get there at opening, get out of the park at 12:30. Straight up, especially in the summer. You're not going to get a whole lot done in the middle of the afternoon. It's going to be incredibly warm. It's going to be incredibly humid. Likely it's going to thunderstorm. And then you're also going to want some rest. Your family and everybody will thank you. And then get back in the park at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Most of the time, most days, the storms are over by then. Sometimes they're not. But even if they aren't, you're in a good place. You're at your resort. If it's still storming, the rides aren't going to be open anyway. That's one of the biggest hurdles that Epic Universe is probably going to have to overcome in the years coming is try to figure out how to get a better balance of indoor and outdoor rides. Right now, if it storms, only 2 rides can stay open. And yeah, I mean, in the summer, that's not good. Other times of the year, it's fine. But right now, the majority of the park shuts down. And so I think in their future expansion, they need to really take that into consideration. Although the rumor of the new Creature of the Black Lagoon boat ride looks really cool. But yeah, then get back in the park at 6 p.m. because what's going to happen is other people that are going to attempt this are going to be exhausted by 6 p.m. and they're all going to be heading back. And so by nightfall, you all are going to have a nice, fresh wind in your sails to go till the close, which is 9 p.m. right now. I don't agree with it. I think Epic should be open till 10 or 11 consistently. But that's just me. That's one of the things these theme parks have all suffered on ever since the 2020 event is their hours have never been the same, ever. They all used to stay open really late, and not anymore. And there's one thing I cannot stand. I think they should be open late. There's no reason to close these parks at 9 o'clock, especially in the summertime. No way. Oh, and one other thing, too. Make sure you take plenty of breaks. Like I said, drink your body weight in water, and then get yourself a nice sit-down meal. And like I said, if you're going to do one day, just be realistic about it. Don't try this. I mean, if you want to try it, go right ahead. But chances are I might see one or more of you in the emergency room from overheating or exhaustion. Get some sleep. Wake up later in the day. Get in the park after the crowds. Balance your day out. And just have fun. That's the best thing. Have fun with it. Don't try to make everything an itinerary. This isn't like mandatory fun or anything. Just have fun with it. Enjoy it. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. I think we're going to do a lot more of these in the future. We'll see you, everybody. It's been the truth. It's been actual. Hope you found it satisfactual. See ya.